is E for eMiniWizard.com and MarketWizards.com. It's just after 10 o'clock-ish on the 23rd of January 2019. With a reminder, use risk capital you can afford to lose. Challenging game. Takes years of experience to have a half a shot. Shortcut to that is finding traders who are with current standards, just like a doctor. You can't use a doctor who is just old-fashioned and is not up on today's methodologies. Find a guru who is studying today's techniques and tools that can help you. And don't just believe everybody that throws out all these cliches out there, and half of them don't work and probably never did. Markets adapt, and we need to also. All right, we suggested today we could probably get whack-a-mole. And whack-a-mole, again, is that process where we continually make higher highs and higher lows. And the shorts really are going against the push until at one point that ends and they'll finally get a reasonable trade. But whack-a-mole suggests shorter rotations and more than likely a continuation of making higher highs. And so theoretically, the best technique in whack-a-mole is to be buying the pullbacks, assuming we're going higher. And bots can do that pretty well, and I would say humans have a little bit of a problem doing that. So we can see that we said today we could get up here and test that 55 area. A logical thing for the boys to do would be try to knock out yesterday's RTH high. But sometimes you get close to those targets and then risk and reward comes in. Doesn't mean they disappear, but it means the odds for achieving those certainly start to diminish. Because it's a game of risk and reward as well. So that's our 5. We had suggested make sure you are paid 53.75 because that was a target that we had. Symmetry target. And right now, I'm using a set of 3 boxes. I'm just hoping you understand that there's a red circle up here and there's a green circle down here. And this is our fighting box right now. This frame. And what we have done basically is take yesterday's high and thrown that down to the low. And this shows us the proportion for a bounce. So reminder, this was your 4. This was your 5 right here at the 41 area. And 6 was here. So this is a strong bounce because it's gone all the way back up here to 7s. And we said probably would be risk 2, make 2 type trading. Be a little bit of a challenge with small rotations at this open. And we did suggest today you'd be better off, if you like the short, to probably be a little bit patient. We would expect the 52 to 55 targets to come into play. T2 today is at 58. Currently our assumed resistance. And today, anything goes, not a lot of news. I think it's time for shorts, for longs to be conservative about those last few points right now. But that's just me. And anybody who is playing short side, make sure you get paid. Reminder, the goal is try to take something out of the day. Name of the game. This is a business. Anybody that's come back in and played the short side should be paid in the 456 range, meaning primary targets at 49.5 to 48, about 48.5. This core right here. And based on the all-day range, first target, if we break the 50s as we've done, is try to get back to the 47. $49 trying to become a demon. And a little bit harder today for the shorts than it was yesterday until the end of the day. And we said that today would be probably IB would be reverse, trying to seek resistance, whereas yesterday we were trying to seek support. So second or third mouse definitely had an advantage today. If you were patient, should have something in your pocket already. Stops down. And my suggestion, probably hit and run is best against whack-a-mole if you're playing the short side. And I think this is one of those strange days that if you can eke out a few points in IB pre-market, maybe afternoon, we've probably done well. Equal opportunity employer, right? Yesterday, shorts could do no wrong till the end of the day, out of here. And so far, we've been pushing ever since. Best defense, great offense. We said we can get up into the next box, but how high can we penetrate and can we keep it there? So we're using this idea today. Pretty important at this 47. Anybody's got 47 stops down. And was that a lucky guess or an educated guess? You tell me. Anybody that is taking the short, second mouse gets the cheese idea. Congrats. If you've got trailers below 47, 48, we've taken out the low just about 20 after. My recommendation, make sure you are paid. Coming into the 45s to 42 should be support zone for now. Squeeze pivot right there. So we're about a dime off of the top, undermine the aggressive longs. We said that we were hoping today we would get whack-a-mole and then second mouse gets the cheese. Probably late longs, once we got up into this zone, would get hit. Maybe the second mouse would get some relief. If you tried earlier and got stopped out, let's say you tried right at the open, you got stopped out, your first goal is try to get your capital back. And I've got 39 and a half as the half gap. Probably going to need another rotation. You can see this squeeze pivot right in here, these 42s. Got to get through this zone to get the half gap. We know that a big boy liked this resistance zone, or else we would not have gotten this size trade. Still inconclusive that we're going to go get anything further. We said, let's take a look at our 5-minute chart. Got to get through the blue line. And we've got obviously the rain line just below us. And we said, this is our squeeze pivot right here. So I like to be aware of that. Those of you who want more, you need a trailer or re-entry probably. And above this line, we are still positive, still trying to bounce. And this is a fast chart. If you're looking at your 10s, a little bit deeper, you can see how we're coming into this support zone, this blue line. You got to get by this. Well, I said probably this 42 to 45, make sure you're paid. And you're not going to guess right on every single inch of a trade. Here's our base chart to 15. Now, this was a chart that we were looking at before. Say green box here, red box here, and fighting box here. So we can tell that that's obviously resistance. So this should be a red circle now, and I'm going to say that this is our fighting box. Green down here and red up here. Traffic light idea. And this is a 2-day range. I really like the odds from back here much better than at the open. And this is the idea of a little patience, letting the early early shorts and the late longs get stopped out. Old timers used to call this let it come to you. They would look at resistance zones and say, better odds back here than right in here. Why bother? And again, this is the 2-day range. So it's got to bust this low at 41 low. And then things will be a little bit more neutral. There's that traffic light pattern. Game of inches, isn't it? And a reminder, goal to get your 4 or 5 points every day if you can. Per contract. And as you get good at a methodology, then and your account size grows, then you can scale and play more contracts. But don't do that until you learn how to create income from one contract, which I think is harder than playing multiple. You always have to make a decision. What do I do now? You can never let that trailer run without saying, let me just grab it and put it in my pocket. Nervous Nelly. RTH chart. Coming back to the rain line. Slope line is the blue line. Coming to the end of the hour. I'm not thinking about closing the gap. I'm thinking lucky if we can get to the half gap, which is 39.5. And that's part of the idea of what the boys do by throwing it up here. They make it conservative on the pullbacks. If you've got a nice trade. And this is the double bottom test right here. And these traders got to be thinking, uh-oh, I gave it all back. Don't play that way. Big boys do, but we shouldn't. You know, it's coming back at you, say, fine. You know, you had your trailer, just drop your trailer. All right, I've got that as the middle of our Globex range. So paid for sure coming into 42s to 41s. You want more, have a trailer or re-enter. And right in here, this 39.5 area is a half gap target. So risk and reward may start to come in. Stops down. And IB is done. I've got half gap achieved. Anybody that's taking this trade, good for you. It's always the ones you don't like that usually give you the best reward. Whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole. I said right there at that time, that's the symmetry trade, and I think longs better be careful now. Just trying to show you guys things I've learned over the years. Hope it helps. Great trade.